If you proud, and Jamaica proud.
Thank you. Thank you.
When you're speaking perfect English, what?
Congratulations on your food. Yes.
One love forever. From the hills of Blue Mountain to Kingston town, we carry a sound that shake the ground. Bob Marley say, get up, stand up for your rights. Now the whole wide world singing in the night.
From Usain on the track, lightning fast, to the rhythms in the dance that will always last. We small on the map, but we shine so bright, giving the world a little island life.
Jamaica to the world, we bring the love, we bring the fire. Reggae heartbeat, lifting spirits higher. From the beaches to the streets, feel the sunshine in your soul. Jamaica, forever fish on the morning plate, jerk chicken spice make the whole world wait. Patties in the oven, sweet sorrel wine, island flavor standing the test of time.
Colors of the flag flying proud in the breeze, green for the land, gold for victories, black for the strength we've carried so long, and pride in our heart is forever strong.
One island, many voices, from the drum to the bass the world rejoices. When Jamaica talk, the world a listen. When Jamaica sing, the world a glisten. Jamaica to the world, we bring the love, we bring the fire.
Ring the bells. Kindly ring the bells. 1 p.m. 1 JLP, 1 Jamaica, 1 Caribbean. Welcome back, guys. Again, we are here for the 2 Prime Minister in the Caribbean that are shaking the UN. They are shaking other prime ministers and governors and presidents, representatives of other countries during this UN assembly. We are going to watch the Prime Minister of Jamaica, his speech, what he really delivered about his country, Jamaica. He loves his country. He is proud of the Caribbean, not only Jamaica alone, but the whole of the Caribbean. And he wants to see the best out of the Caribbean. If you don't know, you are new to my channel, and you don't know that Andrew Holness is now, since I think, is it August, July, the chairman of the CARICOM. You understand? So he is delivering back to back his banger in New York. And along the way, the woman that is like 10 men, who is that woman? Nobody than this, our one and only Mia of Barbados. A woman who also stands her stance. What a man can do, a woman can do better. If you want to really see women of substance, women that stand like men, you have to be watching that Mia of Barbados. And I love her so much because she also love and like our Prime Minister, the Prime Minister of Jamaica, back to back. If you see them anywhere, you see them, you see how they like themselves and they walk hand in hand. So let's go first, before we watch the Mia of Barbados, our Mama of Barbados, we are going to focus and watch our Prime Minister. Our Prime Minister is concerned and cares a lot about this insecurity, not only in the Caribbean, but the whole, not only in Jamaica, sorry guys, but the whole of the Caribbean. And he is so concerned about the ongoing in Haiti. He's trying his possible best to ask the whole world to kindly help in what is happening in Haiti. In the other hand, Mia of Barbados is also concerned about how people are talking about how the UN, what the UN used to do before, why is it not happening these days like before, and she will clear that for us. But before we go to Mia of Barbados, I want us guys to watch the Prime Minister of Jamaica, the clean guy, one of the most, in fact, the clean, you want to talk about clean men that every woman want to take for a date. That's the Prime Minister of Jamaica, the gallant man, tall, you know, gang, you know. In fact, I even want to speak German for you guys, but for now, I don't even want to be exaggerated, because some people will be crying. Because if I say, they will be saying, let Juliet come and be beating me. Juliet, I beg. I told you already that we are sharing him. He is our, not for you alone. So let's go now and watch the Prime Minister of Jamaica, and then we'll come back, guys. See you. Like the video. It's me, the Black Beauty TV, and the real daughter of the soil. Let's go.
President, Excellencies, on behalf of Jamaica, I extend warm congratulations to you, Madam President, on your election to preside over this landmark 80th session of the General Assembly. Just last week, Jamaica marked 63 years as a proud member of the United Nations. As we celebrate the UN's 80th anniversary, we reaffirm our unwavering commitment to the principles of the UN Charter. From decolonization to peacekeeping, from eradicating diseases to promoting human rights, the UN has achieved remarkable success over these past 8 decades. Yet, as we confront global challenges, including pandemics, climate change, armed conflict, and persistent poverty, we must acknowledge that our multilateral system requires urgent reform and revitalization to meet the needs of the 21st century. The UN 80 initiative is an opportunity to strengthen multilateralism with concrete action, institutional reform, and renewed political will. We must build a system that is more democratic, representative, and responsive to evolving challenges. Jamaica is honored that our permanent representative is co-chairing the working group on UN 80 mandate implementation review, along with the permanent representative of New Zealand, and we look forward to meaningful outcomes. Madam President, Jamaica believes in a future where multilateralism works for all, where no country is too small to be heard, where the concerns of small islands facing rising seas are addressed, where the benefits of globalization are equitably shared, and where international cooperation is based on respect for the sovereignty of each nation. Climate change, Madam President, is not a distant threat or an academic consideration. It is a daily reality for small island developing states like Jamaica. Frequent hurricanes, droughts, and erratic rainfall destroy infrastructure, displace communities, and set back decades of hard-fought progress. Jamaica has demonstrated unwavering leadership in climate action despite our limited resources. We have committed to achieving net zero emissions by 2050 and have implemented our national adaptation plan with specific measures to build resilience across key sectors, and we are on track to achieve our renewable energy target of 50% by 2030. However, our efforts and those of other SIDS are severely constrained by the lack of predictable access to financing. The promise of $100 billion annually remains unfulfilled. The Loss and Damage Fund, established at COP28, was historic, yet its initial capitalization of $800 million is grossly inadequate. Developed countries must honor their commitments and scale up climate finance, recognizing that adaptation is a necessity for the survival of small island developing states. The global financing system remains fundamentally flawed. It penalizes reforming economies like Jamaica with high borrowing costs while ignoring our vulnerabilities. Through sacrifice, discipline, and sound management, Jamaica has reduced its debt to GDP ratio from 144% to now 62%. Yet we remain locked out of concessional financing because of outdated metrics based solely on per capita income. Jamaica supports the application of the Multidimensional Vulnerability Index that more accurately assesses countries' development needs and their eligibility for concessional financing. Jamaica also strongly supports innovative financing mechanisms, including debt for climate swaps, debt for nature swaps, and blended finance instruments that can unlock private sector investments in sustainable development projects while reducing debt burdens. We welcome initiatives such as the IMF's Resilience and Sustainability Trust and call for its expansion to support more countries in building climate resilience. Madam President, multilateralism must deliver fairness for all countries to believe that constructive dialogue and engagement offers the best path forward for all countries. That is the case, Madam President, for the people of Cuba, so that they may be able to fully participate in the global economy. We encourage continued domestic reform in Cuba and greater integration into international systems, supported by policies that enable progress rather than isolation. Madam President, Jamaica once again condemns the heinous October 7, 2023 attack on Israel and is deeply horrified by the devastating humanitarian consequences of the counteroffensive in the Palestinian territories. A just and peaceful resolution to the conflict is only possible through diplomacy and dialogue. We continue to support United Nations Security Council Resolution 242 and support the call for a ceasefire agreement that includes the release of all remaining hostages and definitively ending the protracted war and human suffering. Madam President, political instability, gang violence, and humanitarian crises in Haiti affect not only the Haitian people, but the entire region. As current chair of CARICOM, Jamaica has led and participated in efforts to restore peace and constitutional order in Haiti. Last year, we welcomed and participated in the deployment of the Multinational Security Support Mission to Haiti, and we commend Kenya's leadership in this initiative. Despite progress made, the situation remains dire. As we contemplate next steps, we urge member states, especially those in the Security Council, to operationalize the recommendations made by the Secretary General for a transition to a more robust hybrid mechanism to deal with the situation in Haiti. We call on member states to provide the necessary financial and logistic support to ensure the success of this initiative. But security operations alone will not suffice. Haiti's governance deficit and fragile institutional framework must be addressed. Once stability is restored, the international community must help rebuild democratic institutions, ensure free and fair elections, expand humanitarian relief, and invest in infrastructure to support long-term stability. Haiti's recovery requires sustained global support. Madam President, the Haitian crisis has laid bare a wider truth. Transnational criminal networks involved in cybercrime, trafficking arms, narcotics, and people, organizing violence and destabilizing institutions, are an existential threat to states. Gangs are now global syndicates with resources that rival nation states. Jamaica has made significant progress in tackling gangs and reducing our homicide rate by more than 50% in recent years. But we know that unless these networks are totally dismantled, our gains remain fragile. This is why we call for nothing less than a global war on gangs, a coordinated international campaign to cut off the flow of weapons, money, and the influence that sustains them. This requires deeper engagement from all member states. We urge full implementation of the UN Programme of Action on Small Arms and Light Weapons and the International Tracing Instrument. Major arms exporting countries must tighten export controls, strengthen end-use monitoring, and ensure rigorous post-delivery verification. Jamaica welcomes cooperation with all partners in this fight, including the interdiction of drug trafficking vessels, provided that such operations are carried out with full respect for international law, human rights, and with the coordination and collaboration of the countries of the region. The Caribbean has created regional security mechanisms, but these efforts alone cannot match the scale of the threat. What we need is a unified front with the same urgency, resources, and coordination the world has applied to terrorism. Only then can we turn the Caribbean, and indeed the wider region, into a true zone of peace. Madam President, at this 80th session, let us revitalize multilateralism and recommit to building a more resilient, equitable, and sustainable world. The challenges before us, climate change, debt, poverty, conflicts, and crime, are formidable. But our capacity for collective action is greater. Jamaica has shown that with sound policies, fiscal discipline, and good governance, small nations can achieve great progress. But to build on this progress, we need an international system that is fair, inclusive, and responsive. Let us not leave this assembly with words alone, but with commitments that deliver real change. Jamaica stands ready to work with all member states in partnership and solidarity to create a future defined by peace, prosperity, and dignity for all. Thank you, Madam President. Thank you, members.
So, you guys, that is what our Prime Minister delivered. He's not only concerned. You see, he's not selfish. Our Prime Minister, or Andrew Holness, is not a selfish guy. He did not go there just to represent Jamaica. He was also in a deep concern about what is happening in Haiti. If you know about Haiti, you know how the thing go about the gang. I don't even know if government is existing in that country again. I should have checked before coming here. But if you have been watching, there's a guy called Christmas List. If you have been watching Christmas List, I've watched his videos and I got a little idea about Haiti. And I can relate or understand with our Prime Minister how the country is being destroyed by rebels, or how the country is being controlled by rebels. And he said that they must do something to help Haiti. He's begging the UN to do something to help. Now, that is the speech of our Prime Minister, and we're going to Mia of Barbados. In the other hand, where she is talking about what countries are doing to humanity. And in her speech, she said People are complaining, but the problem is because a lot of countries have lose all interest in humanity to do the right thing. Let's listen to her, guys, and then we'll come back. And maybe we'll call it a day. As we say, we don't want long videos. Kindly like the Black Beauty TV's video and subscribe to the channel.
Many of our people ask every day, why has the United Nations not done better recently? The simple truth, my friends, is that countries have lacked the political will to live by the Charter and to do what is right for humanity. Countries of different sizes, capacities, and cultures can only survive in this world in which we live if we maintain a rules-based system. It is no different to what we have to do in our own countries to maintain and protect the vulnerable and the weak. In fact, it's no different than what has to be done in a child's playground. The rules-based system is what protects us from bullying and from rogue behavior. Our charter was designed to promote compassion, equality, fairness. And this is why it is imperative that we maintain a rules-based system. I speak as a leader of a small country. Our future is placed at risk unless we preserve this rules-based system. The law of the jungle does not guarantee any of us a future on a livable, or indeed doesn't guarantee us a livable planet. We have simply to step up to the plate. And unlike the West Indian Federation, when one country left and the maths of the day was 1 from 10 leaves 0, we must remember that if there are those who don't want to be inside at the dance, that 1 or 2 or 3 from 193 does not leave 0. Does not leave 0. Those of us who remain can continue to pursue our vital interests. And we don't criticize countries for making sovereign decisions, because that's what governments were elected to do. If that's not what they want, that's not what they want. But let us get on with the business and protect our vital interests of preserving a rules-based system, to strengthen us, to build peace, to allow us to better face challenges from climate to pandemics to unregulated AI, and generally to build a better life for our people. There is no doubt that there is a case for efficiency gains to be made in this United Nations institutional framework. We know that. But once we finish the efficiency gains, member states who want or need a rules-based order must put their money where their mouth is. If we are to be protected by a rules-based system, then we must step up to the plate and provide the funds to bridge the gap, to deliver the results that we desire. We must move from short pants to long pants and understand that we can no longer complain about the absence or behavior of a country and not ourselves be prepared to make wrong things right. It is as simple as that. And believe me, the arithmetic is not bad. It is within each of our reach to reach there, to do it. And let us remember the Aristotelian principle: equality among equals, proportionality among unequals. In the absence of truth, trust deteriorates. And we see it all around us, in global forums, and indeed on the blocks and in the communities in our own countries. Trust between neighbors, trust between the governed and the governing, trust in our instructions, trust in our social order, trust in our health systems, trust in our global rules, governance structures. It all seems, in the words of Chinua Achebe, to be falling apart. When we lack truth and we lack trust, law becomes theater, news becomes spectacle, and science becomes just another opinion. As I've had cause to say in this great hall on a few times, our world today worryingly resembles the world of 100 years ago. And this has become even more evident with the closing of our borders to both goods and to people. This has magnified the geopolitical tensions which had already taken root. Disturbingly, war regrettably has only entered the daily lexicon of the West, not when thousands were dying on the continent of Africa or in Myanmar, but when war came to Europe. Nevertheless, we still call for peace in the Ukraine. Only yesterday, a leading British newspaper reminded us that for 500 days, 260,000 people, virtually the population of my country, 260,000 people have been trapped in the Sudanese city of El Fasher. The article reported that while political progress stalls, those who attempt to escape are killed, and those who remain inside are starved. The world must not ignore the horror in Sudan. And of course, I don't need to remind you that it must not ignore the horror in Gaza. The genocidal destruction taking place in both places must now have our full attention. And as it relates to Gaza, yes, there must be a release of the hostages taken on October 7th. But we have now gone to a point where all of our human sensibilities are offended by the continuous and disproportionate attacks on the Palestinian people and the failure to allow access by the international community to the survivors for the provision of humanitarian aid. The survivors are entitled, my friends, to use the words of Bob Marley. How can you be sitting there telling me that you care, when every time I look around, the people suffer in the suffering in every way, in everywhere? My friends, it calls to mind the Roman historian Tacitus, who quoted a Scottish chieftain fighting against the military might of the Roman Empire. And I mention only the last two sentences. They plunder, they butcher, they ravish, they make it desert and call it peace. They make it desert and they call it peace.
Countries have lost the political rules to live by the charter. According to the Prime Minister of Barbados, countries don't even have interest in the poor. There's something she said that really touches me. Without a rules-based system, there is no protection for the vulnerable, no peace for nations, large or small, and no guarantee of livable planet. And then this is what I really like. And if we believe in fairness, and equality, then we must fund and defend the very system designed to uphold them. So you see, what she said about country have lost their... In fact, you will begin... let me speak about... I don't want to speak about other country in this sense. But what Mia of Barbados is saying is the truth and the reality. If you look at the politics in Africa, they have lost the tract. They have lost it while they are there. They forgot that they are there for the people. Don't say, why am I referring to Africa? I'm referring to Africa based on what I have experienced, I have seen. If a country cannot take care of its people, then that country have really, in fact, that country have lost the track, or that government of that country have lost it. You can't blame the United Nations, because in the other way, the United Nations might help a country. But is the country using that to help those in need? We should ask ourselves. And that is what the Mayor of Barbados, all political leaders, a lot of political leaders, especially in the third world countries, everything they do for themselves and for their family. They have lost the track that they are there for the people. They believe they are there to be kings, while they are supposed to be there as leaders to be the servant of the country. So you see, I love her speech back to back. If you did not really listen to it very well, go back and listen to Mayor of Barbados, because she made a lot of sense. And that is why I respect these two prime ministers back to back. I'm not saying that they are the only two prime ministers in the Caribbean that delivers. No. The only thing I'm trying to let you people know is that it is the only two prime ministers that I have already, I have really studied in my own little way. I don't know of the other prime minister in the Caribbean till maybe I start following them and start seeing what they are doing. But for the moment, the little I know about Mayor of Barbados and Andrew Holness, the Prime Minister of Jamaica, they are taking the Caribbean to the world, to another, in fact, another level. You understand? And as we said, we don't want to be doing long videos. Kindly subscribe to the Black Beauty TV, and that is our video of the day. I wish you guys a happy weekend, and I hope you have the best. Have a wonderful time. Kindly subscribe and like this video. God will bless you. See you in another video, and have a wonderful time. Bye-bye.
Yeah, yeah. From the island sun to the world stage, this is Jamaica. One love forever. From the hills of Blue Mountain to Kingston town, we carry a sound that shake the ground. Bob Marley say, get up, stand up for your rights. Now the whole wide world singing in the night.
From Usain on the track, lightning fast, to the rhythms in the dance that will always last. We small on the map, but we shine so bright, giving the world a little island life.
Jamaica to the world, we bring the love, we bring the fire. Reggae heartbeat, lifting spirits higher. From the beaches to the streets, feel the sunshine in your soul. Jamaica, forever fish on the morning plate, jerk chicken spice make the whole world wait. Patties in the oven, sweet sorrel wine, island flavor standing the test of time.
Colors of the flag flying proud in the breeze, green for the land, gold for victories, black for the strength we've carried so long, and pride in our heart is forever strong.
One island, many voices, from the drum to the bass the world rejoices. When Jamaica talk, the world I listen. When Jamaica sing,